It's
objectivity.
It's really tricky. I've found, because it's not just about positive and negative, it's more about additive, and you can have friends that are really close to you, that you really share their tastes, but for some reason, the relationship when you share work with them is not an additive conversation, and it's tricky. You got to, and plus people evolve and change, and sometimes you'll go to someone that was really great for one note, and then they're not there for you again. So it's a weird process that you have to navigate, and you always have to be, calibrating your own reaction. As Joel's saying, you understand who your audience is, who you're talking to, but also what you need out of it. Because sometimes you do just need a pat on the back. I definitely need that. My dad usually gives that to me. But then you also need to be challenged. But it's a weird, I've had people in my life that I would think logically would be the best people to show things to, and then for some reason you find out they're not. And that's got to be your decision.
I think you're tapping into something that's hard to wrestle with, which is, of course, you want to find somebody that you respect. Ideally, someone that's your peer, so they understand the actual things you're up against and have done to get where you are, or the choices you've made. And then you also want constructive criticism, which is an art form in and of itself that none of your friends may have. And the thing that I have to, and I think what you said, one person was suddenly really useful in one movie or one project, and then not so much in another. I find that what I now have to calibrate or be owning a little bit more going in is, what am I going to bring to the table? Am I automatically defensive and I can already tell my ears are closing just at the thought of talking to this person or showing it to this person?
Right.
Then that may not be what's best for me, even though they may be the person I know academically might have the smartest answer. Now's not the time or whatever. It's the other thing you should do, no matter what you're told, and is sleep on it. And because whatever little tantrum you had to have inside about being told what you didn't want to hear, you need to process. Yeah. And so you want a good 24 hours, ideally the weekend, and then have the wherewithal to go and review what they said. And often you'll get something, at the least out of it, you'll get something's wrong. Something is wrong, and I should do something about it. But they may have poked completely in the wrong area for why. But they wouldn't have said something had there not been something off. That's that's minimal what you hope comes from it. And
there's something also about knowing that you're looking for information to also understand what kind of information you need, to also know how to ask the right questions of the people that you're trying to, gather information from. Know also really confidently what you're trying to achieve, because their notes may be about, they might want to turn your tree into a motorcycle, and you're like, well, no, this is a tree. You go make your motorcycle. The best quote, and this is an Australian's way of handling a Q&A, a friends and family screening, and I'm not going to name names. A friend of mine showed a movie, and he thought he was ready to put the ribbon on it and send it off, right? And a bunch of us watched it, and this is talking about the commonality or the universality of criticism, right? And pretty much everyone in the room had a similar note, and it was a big note, and it meant, don't lock the picture yet. And he was very he wasn't in a good mood afterwards, this filmmaker. And so one of his close friends that was at the screening, he came around and he said, mate, if enough people are telling you you're sick, you've got to go to the doctor.